Hello, everyone. This is the visual portion of my critical autoethnography. I chose the title Rising Above, and hopefully by the end of the presentation, you will have a understanding of why I chose this title. So with that being said, let's get started. As far back as I can remember, I lived in the small farming community of Orosi, California. Just to give you a quick context, Orosi at the time was less than 3,000 people. It was predominantly first generation Hispanic families, and we lived there because my dad's side of the family lived there. So unfortunately, there were bad influences there, my cousins. I mean, it got to the point where I couldn't even go down to the local market down the street without getting in a fight. So my dad decided to relocate us to the city of Dinuba, which wasn't too far apart. Between Orosi and Dinuba, they're about 5 miles apart, but they were a world of difference. I mean, when we moved into our house, we were the only Hispanic family on the block, and there was only one other family that was non-white, and they were a first-generation Chinese family, whom we became really close with. We shared stories and we got to know a little bit about the culture, and it was great, really good time. But unfortunately, with good times, there was also bad times, and I'll just share a few quick incidents with the neighbors. So the first incident, we got a welfare check. A CPS showed up to our house wanting to know. They said they got a report of neglect, that we weren't being taken care of because my parents were going to work and leaving us by ourselves. I mean, it was bizarre. My sister was 12 at the time. I was 10, and my younger siblings were about 5 years old. So we let the CPS worker into the house, showed her we had food. We knew what to do in case of an emergency. We knew how to get a hold of our parents. And so, of course, the allegations were unfounded. And that was the first incident, the first taste of something's wrong here. The second incident, my brother got tired after playing a game of basketball with his one of the other neighbors, and he sat down on a curb, and the neighbor came out and told him, "Hey, you need to leave. You can't sit here." And my brother listened, and he came to the house and he told me what happened, and that really irked me. But at the time, I was more like, "Hey, you don't want to create problems. We don't want to tell Dad because we don't know if how he'll take it." And so I told my brother he did good by obeying and not making a big deal about it. Um, had it happened today, it would have definitely it would have been a different story. So that was the second incident. The third incident was I got nails in my tire. Once I started driving in high school, I found four perfectly placed nails in one of my tires, and I used to work in a tire shop, so I knew that four perfectly placed nails was not a it wasn't a good possibility of that happening by an act of God or something. It was just like somebody did that on purpose. So um, unfortunately, I can never prove which neighbor did it, but that was enough for me to say I really don't want to live here anymore. And I lived there up until I got my first house, which brings me to my next incident. uh, Prior to buying my house, I was looking at a city of Kingsburg, and I had heard mixed reviews. So I asked a few coworkers that live there, "Hey, what do you think?" And everybody was encouraging, "Yeah, buy it. Don't even think twice. It's a great community, so on and so on." Well, I asked another coworker who I wasn't really close to, but I knew he lived there, and he was also a minority. And I asked him, "Hey, how do you like living in Kingsburg?" And he basically said his first question was, "Is your wife white?" I'm like, "No." "Oh, you're not gonna like it." I didn't know how to take that, and I was like, "Okay." He didn't elaborate. He didn't explain. So I asked my other coworkers what he meant by that, and they just said that's how he is. It's all right. Don't worry about it. And that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So anyway, I ended up buying the house. I lived in Kingsburg for about 8 years, and I loved it. It was the first time I felt at peace. I didn't have any issues with any of the neighbors. Matter of fact, they were more, they were more concerned and always offered their help. So it was just night and day going from Dinuba to Kingsburg. So yeah, those are my experiences with what I considered racism at the time. But yeah, anyway, my next slide, I want to show you what my family looked like. I don't know if the neighbors, I'm guessing the neighbors thought we were just, I don't know what they thought. I don't want to, that's speculation, obviously. So, but here we go. Um, obviously, my dad, my mom, my little brother, my sister, and I'm the one wearing the San Francisco 49ers shirt, even though I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't ask me how that happened. And then on the other side, you got my sister. She's not happy with cake on her face. And down below is me on a piñata and next to an evil bunny with a carrot and my mom. So yeah, just I wanted to give you guys a kind of a visual of my family. And then also, the city of Dinuba has a, slogan called "Together, better community." Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. I mean, I I never want to live there again. It never felt like anybody was together, and it definitely wasn't a good community, at least from my experience. I also wanted to share with you a really good movie I enjoyed as a kid, and I just wanted to let you guys know if you guys ever have a good hour and a half, go check it out. Spirit. It's just the story of a horse that has to go through many challenges and overcomes adversity to get where he wants to be, and that kind of stuck with me ever since. There's also a song by Brian Adams, and those are the lyrics. Don't judge a thing till you know what's inside it. Don't push me, I'll fight it. Never gonna give in, never gonna give up. No. It's a good movie, great song. Go check it out. It just lets me know that, don't ever let anybody treat you or stereotype you or treat you with disrespect because of who you are. I think that nowadays everyone should, as soon as if anybody's being, makes a comment or they see or any kind of racist action towards another individual, I think we should all step up and, address it right there and then. Otherwise, to me, we're almost like not part of the problem, but we're endorsing it. So, that's why I like these lyrics right here. And last but not least, I just read this book, "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins, and he also talks about the some of the racism he experienced as a kid, all through high school, and so that kind of resonated with me. And this book is really, really good. If you guys ever have a time to check it out, you won't regret it. So yeah, there we go. This is my presentation. Thank you so much for taking the time to share, for me to share it with you. All right, have a good one.